Hey guys, my name's Jason and I'm doing kind of a little bit of an informal kind of Christmas gear guide for people who, like overlanding, outdoors, camping, stuff like that. Your partner, your dad, or yourself if you want to get yourself a gift. And the first thing I want to talk about is like axes, stuff like that. Now, I really love these Fiskars things, but I'm a little bit younger maybe. I like kind of this sleek, modern looking axe. But let's say the person you're giving the gift to is sort of more traditional, then obviously don't go with this. Go with something like a wooden one or something like that. But these can make really good gifts, and for the most part, you can get them under 50 bucks. You can get some more expensive ones, like obviously, traditional ones, like really high-end stuff can run $200-300. This is what I run for pretty much everything. So this one here is one of my favorites. This is the Devos Light Ranger. Now, if you see my other videos, I've talked about this where I just had the one, but I recently picked up this other one right here. So there's two in this pack. One of them is the new one, which is the USB-C. I've been testing this out and I really like it. The 2-pack is really cool. You actually save a lot of money when you go with the 2-pack. But yeah, you can also just go with the one. Like the one is totally fine. I've been using just one of them for, I don't know, maybe almost a year now. And it's been great. But if you want to spend a little bit more money, then you can get this one that comes in this really nice bag like this. Two is definitely better than one in my opinion. The next one is going to be some sort of like higher end blanket. Now you can just get something like this. I got this at Costco. I think it was like $20 something. So this is like a 2-person. This one's a little bit more expensive. I think this was $200. They have a single person one, or a 1-person, not. You don't have to be single to use it. Also, you can do sleeping bags. I hadn't really talked about sleeping bags on this list, except I did for one of them, but it's a little bit different, and I'll kind of show you guys that one. And not only are they great around the campsite, you can actually use these at home as well. Now, I know I just got done saying that I wasn't going to do any sleeping bag thing, but this is kind of a little bit different. This is, I believe it's pronounced a Selk bag. Now, I just shoved it in there. It actually fits really nicely, but I was in a rush on my way out. So even just shoving it in there, it still fits. But this is basically a sleeping bag that you can wear. I talk about this in another video and I will link that, but it is really cool. It's basically something that I'll wear around the campsite. And if I wasn't filming this video right now, I would be wearing this. It's really great, and it's a little bit on the more expensive side of a gift. I think this was like 200 something. Want something to walk around campsite with, and also you can just sleep in them at night, and it's like the perfect sleeping bag because you can move around and do whatever you want. So next I'm going to talk about this geyser. You can get whatever brand you want. This is the one that I use right now. I really like this one because it is the most efficient shower out there. Now, I didn't bring everything with me because I'm not really sweating a lot out here. It's very cold, and yeah, I don't really need it right now, but this is great for spring, fall, summer, so I will bring it with me. But this one's really cool because it's just like a little thing you plug in. There's water in here. Now, I have a video on that if you want to see more about this, but this is really cool. It just uses like a cloth sponge, and the water will run into the sponge and you can wash yourself that way. I'll put the video up here somewhere and I'll drop a link to this below if you've already seen it. This is a really great gift. This is the non-heated version, this blue one, and then there is a heated version. This is still going to be a hot shower, but it is just an extra step. You'll have to heat up the water, boil it with a stove, and then put it in here. So if you don't want that extra step, you can also buy the heated version. So next thing I'm going to recommend is like a gas fire pit and a gas growler like this. I'm going to have to set one down. So this is Ignic. It is a little propane tank. I believe this is 5 pounds, and it is really great. It's nice to have this little hard case here. Yeah, I don't know. I really like it because it is a propane tank in here, and I don't just have the propane tank kind of loosely sitting in there. It's in this nice padded bag here. It's very versatile. It's got little molly panels on it so you can mount stuff. It's also got this little carrying case. This is really great. They even have like a all black version, and they just came out with a new one that I may try. I mean, I like this one. I don't really see a reason to try the new one, but maybe it's better. I don't know. So this is the fire can. This is a little propane powered fire pit, and it's really, really great, especially if you live somewhere where there's fire bans sometimes. Like I live in Colorado, and there's fire bans pretty much the entire summer. And I also can use it when I'm out, especially if I'm by myself. And if I'm by myself, I'm a lot more easygoing. But I'm with other people, I'll probably have a real fire. This makes a really nice gift, and it's not crazy expensive. So you can get, you know, a little gas fire pit like this, or you can get the propane tank and this as a bundle. And you can fold the legs down and it stores away really nicely. Also had these little pads on the bottom so you can, you know, it's not going to scratch anything up. Now, I've talked about this in a lot of videos. This is by far my favorite mod that I think I've done in here. So this is the Set Power RV45D. It's a dual zone fridge. And I have it on the slide here, but it doesn't necessarily need to be on the slide to make it work. You know, if you really wanted to, you could get a nice cooler as well. But for me, I just find that since this fridge is only just maybe a little bit more money than, let's say, a Yeti cooler, then I'd rather just spend the extra money and get something that actually, you know, keeps you at a certain level for days and days and days and days. So, you know, you can turn it on and set it whatever temperature you want. It can be a single zone, just a fridge, which is mostly how I use it. But in the summer, you can make it a fridge and a freezer, and that way you can have like ice cream and stuff like that. But that being said, I really like this. I can put a video up here if you guys are interested in hearing more about this one, and I'll put links below. I have a code on their website, and then I'll also put an Amazon link, but I actually think it's cheaper to buy the fridge from their website with my code. Now this is a little bit more on the expensive side. This is the EcoFlow Delta. This is the one that I go to the most often just because it's super powerful. I'll run my fridge, my diesel heater, heated blanket, stuff like that. Pretty big power hogs. I think, you know, most people probably can go with the smaller one. So I'll put, you know, like the EcoFlow River 2 Max and the EcoFlow Delta 2, not the Max of this one, but it's a little bit smaller. And yeah, you could also go with other brands too. I'm not saying you have to go with the EcoFlow. These are just the ones that I go to most often. I do have some other ones as well, and you can go with Jackery if you want. You can go with, you know, Blue Eddy if you want. If somebody's, you know, more interested in that. But in my opinion, I think EcoFlow makes one of the best ones. So speaking of power banks, you can also get these little jump starters as a gift. Now I really like these because I've been in situations before where I've like really put myself in a bad position because I didn't have a jump starter. This one is Goal Zero. I know I just said I like EcoFlow, but I also like Goal Zero as well. And as far as I know, I don't think EcoFlow has a jump starter. If they would make one, maybe I would use it. But for me, this Goal Zero one's great. You just got to keep it charged up, like I think every 3 months. And this is really nice. It comes in this little case, and it fits in my drawers kind of perfectly. Now, I picked this up from Spirit 1876, so I will link their website below because it's a really cool company. Sometimes it's sold out over there, so I will also put an Amazon link as well, but I think they come out to about the same price. So digging into my drawer system over there, which also could be a good gift if you want to, but it really wasn't on my list. If you can find a drawer system that you think is like ideal for a gift, then that would be great. I do love this. Anyway, off that tangent, this is an Eno hammock. I've had this, I think, since 2012, and you know, you can see it's a little dirty, right? You know, but nothing wrong with it. I actually did camp with these pretty much exclusively when I was younger and a little bit more broke. I do like having these and just hanging out around the campsite. In the winter, I really don't use these that much because, you know, the bottom of it is where all the heat goes out of. They're pretty small, so they just kind of sit in my drawers year-round. You could get like an underquilt and use these in the winter, but you know, I have a rooftop tent and a ground tent and a hot tent, so these aren't really my go-to for camping. They're just really my go-to for hanging out around the campsite. So the next thing is going to be chairs. This is a King Camp hammock chair that I've been trying out. I really like this one. I had a hammock chair before that was fine. That was from Walmart. And there's tons of different chairs you can get. This one is, you know, a little bit, I think it's around the $100 range, might be cheaper, but it's a nice hammock chair. You can also get, you know, a $50 chair that's sort of nice. I'll link some stuff below that is actually pretty good. You can get it all the way ranging up to the Nemo Stargazer, which is kind of the, you know, the aspiring chair that I would love to get one day. So I'll link this one below. I'll link some other ones that I think are pretty nice, but a chair is always a great thing to buy for somebody else. If it's, you know, a little bit more like a nicer one, then I think it's a really great thing. And if you have a significant other, you could also buy one for your significant other and one for yourself, so you guys have kind of a matching set. So I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this before, but this is really cool. This is my favorite like kitchen item here. So basically in this little tiny package here, you've got a cooking pot, 2 bowls, you've got 2 cups and a little shot glass, and it's all in this little tiny thing. All the kitchen stuff you might need, you know, other than little utensils and maybe like plates, you've pretty much got everything you need in this little tiny package, and it fits really nice in my drawers. It could fit really nice in your bins, whatever you need, whatever you bring with you. I'll drop the link to the entire set below. I think the shot glass was a separate purchase, but it still fits in that little spot in the middle there. I also have 4 tire deflation and inflation kits. Now, the company that makes this one, this is a little bit bigger than some of the other ones. There's other brands like Moreflate or Fasterflate, and those fold up into little tiny bags. But I've used a Moreflate and a Fasterflate before, and both of those were about the same speed as this one, but they actually were like a little bit easier to maneuver. Maybe I'll change to those one day, but for now this one is fine. It's just a little bit bigger than some of the other ones, and you know, I took it as an opportunity to keep all of my recovery gear kind of in the same spot. So this is Wildland Coffee. It is coffee in a tea bag rather than getting like a big bag and bringing that with you. It's great for travel because it actually does taste good too. I've used this while I was on vacation, not even camping, and these are really great. I really like the Wildland Coffee. Probably one of the coolest little inventions that I've seen in a long time, but it's basically just coffee in a little tea bag. They're pretty cheap, so nice little stocking stuffer, kind of oriented towards the Overland crowd. I think the ones I have here are all just dark roast, but I also like the extra dark roast as well. I'll drop a link below to these, and I think you could just get them on Amazon or from the website. There's variety packs. Makes a cool little stocking stuffer. So before the wind gets too bad, it keeps coming and going, the moonshade up here is also a really great gift. So it's basically an awning that you can pack up and put away, and it doesn't attach to your roof rack, so it's not just like always on your 4Runner or your truck or whatever. So it's kind of nice because you can take this with you wherever. Like you can attach it to a tree, you can you know, slope it down and make like a little shelter. You can bring it with you tailgating. You can put it on the back, put it on the side. You can put it on the front. I just switched to the magnets on there, but they have suction cups that come with them. Magnets were a little bit extra, but this is a really great product. I really like it. I have a video I'll put up here somewhere. If you or the person you're buying a gift for really does like that, you know, fully attached to the side of your vehicle, like ARB, then, you know, go with that. So now that it is a little bit colder, I can show you guys these heated gloves and heated jacket here. Now this is Do Boo. It has a little battery pack here on either side, and all you have to do is press this for, I believe it's 3 seconds, and then you'll get a red light, a blue light, and a green light. Now that is the different heat levels. That is the same on this jacket. This is a nice shell. It is water resistant, but that doesn't mean because it's so close to the microphone it might be making a little bit more noise than it actually sounds like. It's not that loud, but like I said, it's right next to the mic. This is super great because, yeah, like I said, it's water resistant. It has a removable hood, so if you don't want the hood, you don't need to go that way. And yeah, if you run it, I believe on low, it can last up to 10 hours. I've never used it for that long because I'll typically just use it around the campsite. On its own, it's pretty warm without the heater parts, so I usually wear this in the daytime, and then when it hits night, I'll turn on all the heated parts, and that'll keep me super, super warm. I think that would make a great gift, you know, either the gloves or the jacket, or possibly both. It is crazy how warm this will keep your hands especially. I have pretty poor circulation in my hands, so this is really great for me. All right, so now what I want to talk about is some kind of EDC stuff. Now I keep a Desert Does It panel up here, and I think this would be a really great gift. I can't really show you from this angle, but I'll overlay some footage of this. So down here is where I keep 2 of my knives, an extra mag, and I do keep my G20 down here as well. Magnets on it. It can do regular clips for, like, you know, lights, stuff like that. Magnets for, let's say, like your Leatherman or something like that. Speaking of, I think a Leatherman is a really great gift. Now, I've talked about this in a few videos here, but this is kind of my go-to thing. This is Leatherman rebar, and it's super great. It comes, I think, normally in silver, but I went with the black just because I just like the black aesthetic of it. It's got a ton of functions. I mean, you've heard of Leatherman before. You can measure stuff out like this. You've got your pliers, you've got a knife, a file, a screwdriver in there as well. You've got, you know, all kinds of things, a file. Like, this is really cool. And it's not super expensive. Gerber dime, something like this. Now this is compared to the size of a key. It's real small. This would be a really cool stocking stuffer. Kind of the same setup. Knives, all that, and little pliers. Not as strong, but really cool to have on your keychain or something like that. So this might make a really good stocking stuffer. Also pulling from the panel down there is a good little O-light. Now I've heard some people say that they don't like the O-lights because of something in the past. I've not personally had experience with that. I use this O-light, and I've actually given this exact light to my father as a gift, I believe for his birthday, and it's not very expensive, so yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, this could be a gift, it could be a stocking stuffer. It's pretty small, it's got a nice little clip on it. You can, you know, clip it onto things. So I also have this little tiny one. This one's pretty bright for what it is, but nowhere near as bright as the other one. This would be a really nice little stocking stuffer. I think this is like $20, but it goes on my keychain. So also you can do knives. I think these make a really great gift. These are a little bit more on the budget side of things, and they're pretty great. This is from Dispatch. I have a lot of Dispatch knives. I think this one is as well. This is a cleaver style, and yeah, pretty smooth. I like this one a lot for you know, food type things, and then this one's kind of a nice little stubby kind of all-around knife. But these pretty much live on the Desert Does It panel down there. I have some other knives that are pretty good. Like I have a Kershaw bracket, which I don't have on me, but this one is kind of my favorite, you know, EDC knife. I also have this knife, which you probably saw on my fridge back there. This is just kind of an all-around knife that is a fixed blade knife. Now, I'm not saying you have to go with the Dispatch brand. I'm just saying that this is what I use, and I do have Kershaw, and I have some other brands as well, and those are pretty good. I even have some Harbor Freight ones that are pretty good, although maybe the Harbor Freight ones aren't as good as a gift as something, you know, mid-price, like a $50 knife or something like that. Wouldn't be an Oxfoot video without, you know, talking about the trail comms. Now these are, I believe, like 70, 80, maybe even $100, but they may look like regular FRS radios that you'd find at like, I don't know, Walmart or something like that. I mean, they can do the FRS, but these are also GMRS, a little bit of a nicer kind of upgrade, and you get way more channels. Now, you do need a license to operate these, but there is no test. Now, I do have ham radios as well, which do require a license and do also require a test. So for me, I just prefer the GMRS. You can also get, in the vehicle units as well, but I kind of just like these because I can keep them in here for off-roading, for camping, and I can also bring these snowboarding with me. So a nice little stocking stuffer, or it can be a regular gift as well, just headlamps. So there are plenty of different ones. There's Chinese ones, and there's also Petzl, which makes like a really nice one. But yeah, you can get the rechargeable ones, you can get the ones with batteries like this one, a range from like maybe $20 as a stocking stuffer, all the way up to, $100 something for a really nice one. I think this was kind of a mid-range one. This is maybe $40, but it's not rechargeable. But for a little bit more money, you can get a rechargeable one, which is what I would do if I didn't already own this. So I'm gonna take my cards out because I don't want to end up doxing myself, but you can basically fit all of your cards in this little slot here. This is the Travax one. This is made in the USA. It has like this little clip on the back of it, but I never really use the clip. It's just there. This little space right here, you have your cards and you can slide them in and out. I don't know if it's what this was made for, but I always end up opening all of my packages with this little corner piece, and I just kind of dig it in. And so while we're on it, I also really like the quad lock up here. Now this is a case for my phone, and basically if you can look right there, slide my phone on there and put it there. I also do have it for going on my tripod as well when I want to use my phone, film like reels or anything like that. Now another thing I would recommend that's sort of unrelated, but maybe sort of related, is now I've had these for probably 2 years now, and I've probably worn these every single day. I just recently got some new ones that are a little bit cleaner if I want to wear them to, like, let's say the office or an interview or something. But these are by far my favorite boots that I've ever owned, or just favorite shoes I've ever owned in general. They slide on, they're stretchy, they're super comfortable, or just really any boots in general, cowboy boots, anything like that. I've got some great Tacovas that are cowboy boots, and they're really great. A little bit more on the expensive side, but kind of right in the middle there is, light kits for your vehicle. Now I have the Diode Dynamics light here. This is the ditch light. I also have the fog light as well, and I may at some point get another light bar up here, but I'm not 100% positive about that. These are a really great gift, and you can get them in like the $200 price range, 150, 200 bucks. I think these are the sports. They also have all the way up to the pro models, and you can get these in clear if you'd like. Ditch lights are really great for seeing off to the side of your vehicle, and fog lights are great for being fog lights. So this one I'm going to recommend is a little weird because they don't actually make this one anymore. So I would actually recommend a compressor like this one. This is faster than the ARB Twin. This one was $100 and they no longer make it. So Summit, the company here, or the SSW now, makes a compressor that's just the same speed but for $180, whereas the ARB Twin is almost $800. So I would definitely recommend going this route. Now you could get, Max Trax or just some other company. There's a lot of companies that make these, but I think there's not that many making them like this. This is, first of all, actually made in the USA. A lot of the brands online aren't. Big problem I had with my old traction boards is that I would drive over them, use them, and I would wear down all the studs. With this, you can actually replace them, and that way, if you use them a bunch and over a year or something, you can just buy some new ones. was a major reason why I went with these, because you can reach underneath and pull out this little pin here. You actually have a little crevice inside, and you can actually store like screwdrivers, you know, pliers, anything you need. Things that go in here, they're little stakes, and they can connect this one and that one, and you can store those stakes inside of here as well. I just kind of dig it in and